Hey YouTube, did you have seeing a grown man in his mid-30s get emotional about a Pokemon Netflix animated miniseries on your 2023 end-of-year bingo card? Did you think you were ever going to see that? Because guess what? You're going to see it today. Good God, Pokemon Concierge is so good, you guys. So this dropped at the time I'm recording this, like less than 24 hours ago. I've already watched it through multiple times. It's not long. It's like 4 episodes. Each one is like 15 minutes-ish in length, sometimes less, because like 4 or 5 minutes is just credits. But my God, this show is perfect. I mean, like, my only complaint literally is that there isn't more of it. You can watch the whole thing in like an hour, and I'm blown away. Like, I'm totally blown away. Like, the spoiler-free top-level thoughts, because I really just want to gush about this show for a little bit, and I'm like, look, I got a YouTube channel, I can do this. I kind of just want to, like, talk into the shotgun of the camera at you guys and just talk about Pokemon Concierge for a little bit, man, because it totally kind of rocked my world a little bit. I'm gonna say top-level spoiler-free thoughts. It is beautifully animated, like the representation, these kind of like needlepoint felt Pokemon juxtaposed to the sort of like stop motion, like claymation look of like the human characters, of which there are only a handful, you know, in the whole show, but like that is so effective. Like the cozy vibes of the Pokemon Resort, like that is all top tier. This thing is just like a warm cleanse for the soul. The, you know, the voice performances, again, there's not a lot, but they're all strong. Like all of that stuff on a mechanical level is really, really strong about this show. It's like an incredibly well-made show, and the amount of like work and love and care that went into this show is obvious. And I just immediately, I want the art book, I want to watch all the behind the scenes stuff. So much love and care in this show, but man, what I didn't expect coming into this show, I knew it was going to be pretty. I had a sense that, you know, knowing like the studio behind it, and it's got kind of very like, you know, Japanese filmmaking sort of vibes to the whole thing, and we'll get into that, but you know, I knew that coming in. But man, what I didn't expect coming in was like the emotional core of the show. Like this show is not just cute, it's not just, you know, fun and funny and all the rest, but like it is relatable, it is life-affirming, it is heartfelt, it has things to say, and God, it really, really moved me. So I just want to say to anybody watching this, if you have not watched Pokemon Concierge yet, the thing's like an hour. If you have Netflix, I would recommend this show to literally anybody. If you like Pokemon, if you don't like Pokemon, I promise you there's something for you to take away from this show. So go watch it, come back afterwards, and we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about Pokemon Concierge. Just the beginning of the show, which I think maybe even like literally the opening shot of the show, is the protagonist Haru just like talking about the status quo of her life, where she's like, my boyfriend of like 6.5 years left me, I lost like my office job or whatever, and now she's going to this Pokemon resort to become a Pokemon concierge. And like immediately you're like relating to Haru, like straight away. If you are an adult, if you're a working adult in 2023, I think anybody could relate to Haru. Especially in that moment, man. Everybody is like, go, go, go. Everybody has all these anxieties in the modern age, right? It's just kind of a part of like, of human life, I feel like. And she's a very relatable character straight away. But like, when we get to the actual Pokemon Resort with Haru, I think that beginning episode sets up so many things. First of all, it is a wonderful sort of like Ghibli-esque, slow burn sort of introduction to this world and its characters. You get to meet Miss Watanabe, you get to meet Alyssa, you get to meet the, what's his name? Is his name Troy? Like that kind of like surfer dude that does the yoga with the Pokemon and makes the food and stuff. you get to meet all these characters, and that's great. You get to see these incredibly adorable Pokemon. Like, the first time you see Wooper in the show, like, I got teary-eyed. Like, I am not the type of person that usually, like, cries when something is so cute, but my god, the show is so cute. It's, like, the single cutest thing I've ever seen. It put, like, tears in my eyes how cute this damn show is. But, like, in addition to all of that, it kind of allows Haru this space as a character, and this comes from Miss Watanabe, like the proprietor, the owner, her boss, or whatever of the Pokemon Resort. Like, she kind of has to break Haru of, like, these sort of traditional thoughts, these traditional, like, workplace standards that she's become accustomed to. Haru feels like she's failing at the new job. She, like, puts together these, like, spreadsheets and things that she could do better and differently and stuff, and Miss Watanabe is just like, no, like, break all of that. You're just supposed to have fun. Your job is to just have a good time and to release yourself of everything that is not you. You are here to be your own person and just have fun. And, like, it really, I think that is kind of like the core of this show, is finding the fun and the strength of being yourself. Like, the show's theme song is called Have a Good Time Here by Maria Takeuchi, who is the absolute queen. I've been a big fan of hers for a while now, and my god, the song is excellent. It's so good. You should go look it up and listen to it. But man, like, it really strikes me how it's kind of like this, the theming of it kind of makes me think about just life in general, man. Like, have a good time here. Like, this is what it's all about. Like, be yourself, learn to love yourself, and have a good time. Your only job is to have fun. Like, we're not here forever. So, like, why stress about all the ins and outs of the day-to-day? And the first episode really establishes that. Coming into episode 2, you're kind of getting more of that, like, kind of story setup, particularly with Psyduck, who is so good in this show. I'm so happy that we are finally getting the Psyduck representation in the modern age of Evolve. Of course, we had Misty's Psyduck and stuff, but between stuff like Detective Pikachu and now this, like, we're finally getting, Psyduck is finally getting the love that Psyduck has always deserved, really. That makes me very happy. So we're establishing Psyduck in the show. There's some great, cute moments of sort of getting to know Psyduck, and even getting to know, like to see the way that Haru sort of breaks down she comes into this a Pikachu fangirl, right? Kind of basic, which Alyssa makes sure to tell her in the final episode, and we'll get to that final episode, trust me. It's funny because, like, she catches herself, like, sort of becoming a Pikachu fan to a Psyduck fan as she connects with this Psyduck. From a total chance sort of encounter, she, meets this new partner and connects to that Pokemon and kind of teaches it to be itself and to come out of its own shell. And, like, the same way that Miss Watanabe taught her in episode 1 to have a good time here, to have fun and to let go and to be herself, her job coming into episode 2 is to do that same thing to a Pokemon. And it kind of reminds me, and this will be the only place that you hear this comparison made, but I thought of RuPaul's Drag Race, man. When, RuPaul's kind of catchphrase on that show, if you've ever watched that show, you know it. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else, right? And I was thinking of, like, coming into episode 2, that's kind of what it is. Like, in order to be a good Pokemon concierge, Haru had to learn how to love herself. She had to learn how to be comfortable and to enjoy living. And now, only then is she able to grant that to the Pokemon in Pokemon Resort. And I think that's such a beautiful notion. And I think it's true of life as well. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love anybody else. So episode 2 really kind of drove that home for me. You catch Haru at the end when she's pointing out the candies to Psyduck, and she's, listing off the different colors and relating the Pokemon, and she goes to point at the yellow candy and says, and this one represents Pikachu, and then she stops herself and she says Psyduck. and I just thought that was so good and well done. And then you get into episode 3 and it plays with, the core conceit of Pokemon, which is like evolution is so core to it. The episode opens up with, I think it's the Hoppip or whatever, evolving. And it is like, and it plays, of course, the classic, like, Evolve, the evolution song from the games, which is great. But then we meet this Magikarp who has always swam with floaties on, which this is like the most, I literally have used this phrase in life for forever. Like, swimming with floaties. Like, swimming with floaties, being in the deep end with floaties or no floaties is like classic metaphor for being in over your head or, jumping into a scary situation or whatever, right? And here we see this Magikarp literally unable to swim without its floaty. And through a sequence of events, so, the floaty gets taken by like a Wingull, and then it, like, Haru chases it down on the back of a Dragonite, which is great and super fun. And then, like, a Snorlax rolls over it and pops it, and Haru's unable to fix it. Like, that's something in a lot of shows, I feel like they would have just had Haru, like, able to fix it or whatever. But what actually happens is she's on her, like, night watch in the forest or whatever with Psyduck, and she realizes she can't fix it. So what can I do? Well, I can at least turn it into a special gift for this Magikarp. And just when she realizes that, she looks over the sort of edge and notices that same Magikarp evolving into a Gyarados. And she vocalizes multiple times throughout this episode, I wish I could evolve too, right? And we see this Magikarp. It was only from the removal of learning to swim with no floaties, right, that the Magikarp got to evolve. And it's about taking yourself out of your comfort zone, learning to swim without those floaties, and only then do you evolve into the Gyarados that you were always meant to be, right? And I think about that a lot, man. And Haru kind of learns that because the anxiety that she has going into that episode was she feels like she doesn't have anything practical to contribute to the Pokemon Resort. And it's like, you just have to find it. You can't be like Alyssa, who is this like perfect, rock climber, knowing all the Pokemon and, whatever. She's like an incredible painter. Haru is not. The other character, again, I think his name is Troy. I apologize if I'm getting his name wrong. He's like, he's great. He's doing yoga with the Pokemon. He's cooking and everything. And he's taking care of business. So Haru's like, how do I contribute? And it's like, well, you play with them. You make them happy. You decorate these little, these little floaties or whatever, these little life rings, and all of a sudden, all the Pokemon are happy, man. And, that's evolution. That's learning your place. And there's something beautiful to that. But anyways, I gotta talk about, this video's already going longer than I thought it would, but I gotta talk about that last episode. In the last episode, a tour group of Pikachu owners, which we've seen in the games before, like the Pikachu fan characters or whatever, which is always kind of funny, because like it's almost like a self-report, like the Pokemon company, and like they all know where their bread is buttered. Like Pikachu is the iconic, everybody loves Pikachu, right? And so does Haru. Haru comes into it, she's like freaking out and giggling, and Alyssa, in so many words, calls her basic, like straight up, for being yet another Pikachu fan. But she meets this Pikachu who is the shy, quiet Pikachu. And man, I tell you what, like, I felt so seen by this Pikachu straight away. When you watch that episode and you see that Pikachu, you're looking at kid Seth. Like, you are looking at Seth from ages like up until age, I would say like maybe 12. That was me, 1000%. The shy, scared kid, like getting sick a lot when I was a kid. Also, like, I was always the kid. I didn't want to ride the rides. I didn't want to get on the roller coasters. I was scared of heights. I was claustrophobic. I didn't want to do the things. And I had like, the setup of the episode is this kid, I think his name is Now. who's like, hey man, like, can you help my Pikachu kind of become more Pikachu-like? You know, like, I love my Pikachu, but he doesn't act like a Pikachu. He's so quiet. I want him to be loud. I want him to be energetic. Pikachu's, like, they have these traits, and my Pikachu doesn't have them. Can you fix him? And they go through, like, all of these different processes. They, like, try to get him to ride the rides, right? They try to take him up on the top of a mountain to get him to yell. They try to scare him. They try to feed him like spicy food to get him to like yell in pain, all in an effort to fix him. And it's not until Haru sort of catches herself when she's drawing Pikachu and Psyduck like sleeping on the couch together. It's then that she realizes that, oh wait, like, there's nothing wrong with Pikachu. We don't need to fix Pikachu. You know, this, I think she says to Now, like, just because your Pikachu is this way, like, your Pikachu is still Pikachu, don't you think? You know, and like that, man, that hit me like a ton of bricks, because, like I said, like, I was the kid, I was so like this Pikachu, you guys. I was scared of the roller coasters, I was scared of heights, I was scared of the rides, I was scared of, a lot of times until I got to a certain age, even going outside. Like, definitely had like some like germophobic tendencies, some agoraphobic tendencies, lost myself in video games a lot from a young age, and I had those issues, man. I was the quiet kid, I was the shy kid, just drawing, playing with Legos, playing games, whatever. And there was a lot of, like, from my parents, from my family, even from friends being like, you know, hey, like, yeah, like, get on the roller coaster, like kind of like forcing you a little bit to try to like fit into the mold of what all the other kids are doing, or what, you know, what the kids your age typically do. The kind of Pikachu that you should be, right? And, you know, like that was kind of the experience that I think this show really speaks to, of like, a Pikachu is still a Pikachu, you know, at the end of the day. You are still your own person. You're just a little different than anybody else. And then when they kind of choose to let go of that, when they just have fun, and when Now chooses to have fun with his Pikachu together, and they ride the ride together at the end. And it's a simple thing, like they just jump on one of those floaties and slide down the hill together. But that is when they truly connect, you know? And when Haru gifts Pikachu the drawing that she did, where she really saw that Pikachu, God, I'm getting emotional just talking about it, where she saw that Pikachu for the first time, like, that's when he opens up. And when they all pack up, the tour group packs up with their Pikachus, they get up onto the cruise ship and they start to leave, and Pikachu sort of looks off into the distance, and he, on his own choice, like when I saw this moment in the show, I actually thought that they were gonna not do this for a second, which I would have been okay with, because it would have, you know, if they didn't do what they ended up doing, it would have said, it's okay if it never happens. You know, you get to choose. But sure enough, man, the Pikachu yells out and cries out to his friends that he made to say goodbye, and vocalizes and is loud for the first time. And man, you guys, like the only thing that, like, my spirit soared watching that, it said, like, hey man, like, you get to choose the kind of Pikachu you are. You're not broken. There's nothing to fix. This is just the person you are. And when the time is right, when you decide, you're going to be loud. You're going to be loud, and you're going to find it for yourself. And, you know, I think that growing up, like, I certainly found my own voice, but like, there was a long time where I didn't. And there was a long time where I did think something was wrong with me, or that, like, something was broken within me, or whatever, that I did need to be fixed so that I could be like all the other Pikachus. But I never did. And I got there. And here I am. And this is all stuff that, like, this damn little, like, cute little Pokemon show on Netflix is telling me. And man, it's special. It's really, really special. And it moved me in a very deep way. And I think I could, like I said, I could recommend this show to anybody. I think it has like such human, relatable themes at its core. And again, like the one and only complaint that I have with it is that I just wish there was more of it. I wish there's literally twice as much of this show, at least. Like, bring on, please, if anybody responsible for this show happens to stumble upon this video, please, like, make more. Thank you so much, like, for what this is. This is such a special, precious, crystallized little perfect show for me now. Because it's so short, like, I'm gonna go back to this, you know, over and over again. I can't wait to, like, share it with more people. I couldn't wait to, like, this is kind of a weird, like, raw, impromptu kind of video with very little editing. It's very off the cuff, but I just wanted to, like, sit down and talk about it, man. It's really, really good. TLDR, Pokemon Concierge is really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. I might go and watch the show again. If this video resonated with you at all, let me know in the comments down below. If you loved the show as much as I did, let me know. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, I guess, before you head out. And yeah, go get your Psyduck plushies now, man, because I tell you what, you know Psyduck is going to be a hot commodity once people start watching this show. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.